Hey everyone, it's Nightharrow here, and today I want to talk about monetization because this is a question that I've been asked a decent amount recently, and I feel like there's some questions, and I figure if a couple people have asked me, then probably many more people have this kind of question or maybe might be curious about it. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I know it's not ESO related, so no worries if you're already clicking off the video. So monetization, I just want to explain first off, like my view and what I think about it. So first off, I really like the way YouTube is set up, the way it's set up with monetization. You know, one of the problems with a lot of entertainment stuff, for a while there's only one or two streaming networks, and you could, pick one and you got a bunch of stuff, and then eventually, once they got everybody hooked, and they wanted to make more money or at least not lose money, they started changing things, and then on and so forth. And now we're to where we're at now, where like everybody has their own streaming thing. Everybody, you can pay and subscribe and whatever. And the benefit of this streaming services is it was like a bundle. You got a bunch of stuff for relatively little cost, and then you could watch whatever you wanted. And then they were like, well, how do we get more money? The thing that I like about YouTube and my thought process on a lot of this stuff is, if I watch something or if I play something and it's really good, I want to give that person money or that company money because I want them to make more content and I want to support that. It's like, I like this. I would like to see more of this. The only way I can see more of this is if I pay for it. Okay, I'm willing to pay. Now, that's not what happens, obviously. You have to buy stuff sight unseen. Games can be really bad about this right now, right? Like Anthem comes to mind. I found a lot of enjoyment out of it the time that it was viable to play and that there was content to play. But, it came out and it was half done and whatever. So, right, I know there's a lot of people that would rather have been able to play it, try it out, whatever, and then decide if they want to buy. That's the consumer-friendly thing to do. And that's what I like about YouTube. You guys can watch. Sure, there might be ads. If you have YouTube Premium or whatever, you don't have to watch any of the ads and you can skip around. It's actually really nice and I think worth a subscription, at least for me. Also, all the music that comes with YouTube. Doing an ad for YouTube Premium now, but it really is. I think it's a good deal. So at least for me. So anyways, my point in all that is that that's what I want to do. I want to provide really good content. And my goal is that it would be so good that people would be like, you know what? I get a lot of entertainment or I get a lot of value out of this. Yeah, I'm willing to, throw a couple bucks his way. I'm willing to subscribe or something like that. And I also realize, and I want this to be the case, that I have to constantly earn that. I have to constantly keep making better and more material so that you guys have something, and so it continues to be of value and worth to you guys. I think that this is a good arrangement. It's something that works for both of us. And so I really like how YouTube does some things. Now, there have been some people that have asked me, do I do this full time? Kind of what is my day job and everything? And it's a little bit uncomfortable, I think, for them to ask. And I get that. It's kind of uncomfortable to be asked. I don't mind it, so it's not really uncomfortable, but it could be. So I'll just tell you here. So I don't work right now. I have been going to school. I have taken a break to be able to do more YouTube because I think I'll continue to go to school and I'll get a degree eventually. But even when I do that, I still think I would like to do YouTube, and I don't think getting a degree it'll be more for me than for anything that I absolutely need. Although I have learned a lot, and I probably wouldn't be able to do what I do now had I not gone to school. So anyways, I have the benefit that my wife works full time and she supports me. We have chosen to spend a significant amount of money, thousands of dollars, to get things that will make my videos and to make my channel more successful. So kind of at a business expense, we've chosen to invest. My wife is really awesome and supportive, so she's been willing to do that. And she's very much like, yeah, whatever you need. I believe in you. I think you can do this. And so I got a separate computer so that my live streams can be, and my recording can have higher quality so that my sound can have higher quality, video editing software, all kinds of stuff that go into it. I mean, you need mics, you need mic stands, you need cords, you need all kinds of stuff, right? So all that goes in. That's all an investment in a business. And I'm kind of at the point now where ideally what I would like for the channel, like the next goal for the channel, would be that it would just pay for itself. Playing as much as I play, I've worn out a keyboard. It turned out to unfortunately not be the highest quality keyboard, even though it was not cheap. And it's like, it's falling apart on me. There's expenses like that, cords. Sometimes you need more cords. Sometimes you need to swap out. Things are going to break on computers. I could probably swap out one of my power supplies. Seems to be causing me issues. There's all kinds of stuff. I constantly need more hard drive space to store videos. And so even when I delete some of the stuff I don't need and try to be frugal about it, I constantly need more hard drive space. So I have to buy a lot of memory, a lot of hard drive space. So there's all kinds of stuff like that. But those are just business expenses. And I would like it to pay for itself. So because I'm kind of at the point where it's like we spent a bunch of money, now it needs to go on its own. And that's kind of what I'm looking towards in the future. Now with monetization, what I really want for everybody is I don't want anybody giving me money because they're like, oh, I hope he succeeds, or you're afraid that I'm not going to eat or something like that. I'm going to eat. I'm fine. I grew up in a trailer park. I grew up not having a lot of money, and my life is better now than I ever could have imagined back then. My point with all that is that I'm going to be okay. The worst case scenario for me is still very good. And so I don't want anybody to think that like they need to, I'm not going to eat, or I'm going to be struggling, or it's going to stress me out or anything like that. It's not. My goal for the channel would be, so right now I've got a little bit under 1,400 subscribers. So, the idea would be that if I provided enough entertainment value for all of my subscribers, that maybe I would be worth like $1 a month to them. So maybe they watch several hours of my content a week. And so they add that up at the end of the month and they go, okay, I get 8 hours of entertainment out of this, depending on what how good it is, how high quality of entertainment that is, that they would be like, you know what, I could spend $1. Or maybe more. It just depends, of course. But, maybe I could spend $1 or $2. So if each one of those person gave $1, I would be making $1,500 at the end of the month. That is not enough to live on where I'm at. If I was single and I was the only, that was the only money I was getting a month. But it's more than enough in my current situation. And I would be, that would pay for the channel, more than pay for the channel. As far as like all the business expenses that come up, I had better internet, unlimited download and uploads, because the videos are very large, uploading into YouTube. And there's some stuff that's not my videos that I have to download. And anyways, again, a lot of stuff, but that would be plenty. That would, and just to look at it, if you compare like my channel to somebody who I think is really a great content creator, like Skinny Cheeks, he's got 45,000 subscribers. So he has 30 times more subscribers. Now, if each one of his subscribers gave $1, and I know this is an unrealistic expectation, but let's just say they did, he would be making, $30,000 a month. And there's costs. YouTube takes a cut of that and all kinds of other stuff. But we're just back of the napkin calculations here, okay? I'd be making, 30,000. That's ridiculous, right? Like that's crazy money. And so my goal for the channel is, since I don't need money now to live on, is to just get more subscribers and then kind of worry about it later. So it's not my primary concern, because even if everybody gave a lot more, it's not going to compare to having 30 times the subscribers. And that's ideally what I would like, because I don't want people spending $20, $30 a month for my content, if that is, especially if that's like a lot. And I know for some people they can, and you guys might be willing to, and some of you already have. That's awesome. I really appreciate it. The idea is that we each have what is called if I'm remembering my economics classes correctly, a personal reserve price. So what your personal reserve price is what you're willing to spend for something. And, that varies from person to person. If you're 16 and you're, you just work on the side or whatever, while going to school, $1 a month might be a lot to you. I don't know. That's probably not the case in the US, but it might be where you live. And so I don't want that person to have to spend more than they have to get the same quality of content. I want to provide it for someone, and then you guys can decide what your own personal reserve price is. So if that's $2, that's $5, that's $30, whatever that is, when you say, hey, you know what, I really like Nightharrow, maybe you're like, yeah, man, I would really like to help him out, and I would like his channel to pay for itself. That seems reasonable. He's working hard, whatever. I like his content. He seems like a nice guy. That's awesome. Cool. But that's what I want. I want for everybody to say, you know what is this worth to me and my situation? Because again, I grew up in a trailer park. I get that, like, some people, just don't have it. Maybe you have other obligations, family, children, whatever. I totally get that. And so I just want to provide good content. And my goal is and my thought process is if I make good enough content and I can provide a good enough value, then there will be enough people that can and are willing to pay for that content, kind of after the fact, and that works out for everybody. And I get that there's some small percentage of potentially bad actors. I think it's vanishingly small. And I'm just not worried about that. I just don't think that is most people. I think most people, even if they're getting good enough value for something, are more than happy to pay for it. And so that's what I want to do. So that's what I'm doing with the channel. That's what I'm trying to do. I am okay. You guys don't need to feel like YouTube is kind of funny. I really would love to do. I've been thinking about it, how to make a funny video about like what creating content for YouTube, like what people maybe think of or what the stereotype is or what you might imagine it to be, because I know a lot of us probably just don't know. I didn't know, that's for sure, compared to what it is. And I can't think of a great way to do that in a humorous way, but if I do, I'll make that video. But I mean, the reality of the situation is that I work a ton. I work a ridiculous amount, but I work for myself. No one's making me do this. And you know what? I'm playing video games for a living, right? So again, looking at younger me would look at me and be like, man, you made it. I mean, yes, I need to actually make money before I can be like, yeah, I've made it, where I can live off of this. But I mean, I already feel just, I'm amazingly fortunate. And so I don't want anybody to ever feel sorry for me, because you should feel sorry for people that have real problems. This for me is not what I would call, quote unquote, a real problem. Okay. Yeah, sure. I work 80, 90 hours a week sometimes. Sure. It can cause stress in my life and for my family. That's on me. I need to figure out how to deal with that. And then, no one's making me work 80 or 90 hours a week. I'm choosing to do that because I want this channel to be successful, and I want to be successful at making content on YouTube moving forward. So, anyways, all that to say, a couple of things to get to some specifics about the channel. So I want to do some subscriber things. I'm not sure what to do. And I'm also not that worried, because again, what I would ideally like to do is have a large base of people. And I know that there will be some small percentage that will be able to pay more and willing and happy to pay more. And yeah, I'll take it. I want to provide that value, and if I can, that's great. But my goal would be, and typically this works with most businesses, the number of people you service is usually directly related to how successful you are as a business. Now, there are niche businesses, and there are a ton of niche businesses that's not the case for. I know that. But if you think of things like Google and Amazon, right? Facebook at one time, the number of people that they service is how kind of helps. It's directly proportional to how successful the company is going to be. And you can have profit margins. I get that they're wildly different, et cetera, but that's still vaguely true. And so that's what I want. I want to try to, appeal and have a large audience and be successful that way. And so I'm not worried about, and I never would want to like squeeze what I can out of the few people that I have. I want the opposite. I want to provide so much content that when someone's like, man, I can at least throw this guy a couple bucks. I watch 16 hours of his videos, every month. And, it's a great value, and I love it. I think it's high quality. It's a good 16 hours. It's not just like, this is okay, or I'm watching this because I'm bored. That's what I want to do. And so that's my goal for moving forward and stuff like that. And so I do want to figure out how to do, this different monetization stuff and whatever, but it's very not my primary concern right now, and hopefully will never be my primary concern. But that's very like secondary or tertiary for me. But at the same time, if there's somebody who has time, inclination, and the ability to give a little more and to help out a little bit more, I would love to provide them with some perks and some stuff like that. So anyways, all that to say, that's why it has taken me so long to decide exactly how I want to do this. And I think I've landed on something pretty decent. So basically, the first tier is just, it's 99 cents. There are some loyalty badges, so it shows how long you've been a member. And then there's some cool emojis you can use, which are for everybody else as well. And then the other thing you get is members only live streams. And then depending on the level, there's also members only videos. and members only live chats, stuff like that. The reason for those kind of things, and the reason why I feel okay about it, my goal with those is, well, there's kind of two different things. One is that, so with the higher tiers, you're also going to get early access to videos. So, I just figure it's not a big deal if you have to wait a few days or something like that. I won't do that with all of my videos, but I will do it with some of them. So if something is particularly time sensitive, I'm going to go ahead and release it. So like patch notes and stuff like that, if it's time sensitive for you guys. But, if I'm doing a build video that I expect to be useful for the next year or something like that, one group of people might get a week early access or something like that. So I think it's pretty reasonable. The other side of that is that there are often times, and this is kind of using this system to my own advantage, there are often times where I want to do a quick update for a video. I want to be like, hey, I recommended this set for trial optimization, or I recommend this set for tanks or healers or whatever last patch, and it's changed, and I just want to do a quick video, but I've already got 4 other videos planned, and I'm working on them, and I just simply don't have time to fully update the video. What I would like to do, when I want to be using this for, is simply putting out very quickly updates that are a lot less polished than some of my other videos. And part of the reason for this is I don't want to put them out there to the general public, because I don't want someone seeing my video and be like, oh, this is like not that well edited. They seem to be referencing some other video that I have no idea what they're talking about. And they're speaking, and I'm speaking in some sort of context that they don't really understand. One way that the memberships really help with that is that I'm assuming if you're a member, if you're a member who's paying something every month, then probably you watch a lot of my videos and probably you get a lot out of them. And so then I can speak to you in that context. So I can say, hey, this video that came out, like here's what's changed, and here's why what I said in there is, here's how I would do it differently now, actually, and stuff like that. And that to me makes a lot of sense. And then I can also put out not only more informative stuff that's really quick and really short, but also a little bit less polished. And you guys know generally the level of polish and utility that I want to give you out of all of my videos. And so, there's some kind of understanding. Similarly with live streams, it's the same deal. I don't want someone popping into a live stream, hear me making a joke that might be a bit sarcastic and they not understand it's a joke. And if you don't think this happens, this has happened a lot with the healer video I did, how to blame the healer, a guide. So a lot of people didn't get that was a joke. So the reason I made that video is because it was getting so bad, and someone in particular was like kind of mean to my wife, who heals primarily, and blamed her for something that wasn't her fault, and then didn't apologize when they realized that it was their fault, not hers. And it's like, okay, so bad behavior, and then not accepting responsibility for your bad behavior. But anyways, so I made a video kind of making fun of it. I didn't want to make fun of the person, obviously, but I did want to make fun of just the fact that, and draw attention to the fact that people do that all the time, blame the healer, and it's silly and it's ridiculous and we should stop. And so I made this funny video. Well, some people didn't understand that it was a joke, and they got upset about it, and that's unfortunate. I thought I put enough stuff in there that it was obvious, but apparently not. And so anyways, I don't want people popping into my live streams, hear me joking or hear other people in the live stream joking about different things and think that we're serious because they don't know us, right? They don't know that I believe in treating everybody not only equally, but also well. They don't know even when I don't live up to my own expectations. But there's just a lot of stuff going on. I believe in supporting people. Don't make fun of people when they're messing up. They're trying their hardest. Now, among my friends, we laugh at ourselves. We laugh at each other when we do silly things, and it's all in good fun. But if you just popped into one of my live streams and you heard something like that, you wouldn't know that, because if you didn't know me, and you might think that I was genuinely making fun of somebody. And anyways, so this is just one way of those kind of live streams where I'm like, hey, this is going to be kind of unguarded. We're just having fun. We're all friends here, whatever. I will want people who watch a lot of my videos know that's where we're coming from. Yeah, come join that live stream. But I don't want to put that out to everybody because things might get misconstrued. And so, it's just another way that I'm trying to use these different levels of membership to my advantage, while also providing some utility and kind of perks for you guys. So that's the whole deal. That's what it is. The highest tier perk here is that I will give personal build advice. So I'm not an expert on everything, but if kind of what I'm imagining with this is like, hey, Nightharrow, I want to make a bow, whatever, stammed in or something like that, or whatever, that we'll sit down and spend a little bit of time. It won't be a ton of time, but spend a little bit of time once a month maybe, and go over and like, okay, here's what you can change. Here's what I would do different. Here's how you get more damage out of it, more survivability, that kind of thing. So, the other thing that I would really like to do is eventually I would like to be able to make some merchandise and make some things that are cool and interesting and fun, because that's one of the ways that I really like to support some of the creators and artists that I really like. I think of Critical Role, Dimension 20. I love those guys. They're awesome. Gamers Nexus, and I think of all this stuff, and that's a cool way, because you can get something, maybe it's a t-shirt, and I would like to do other stuff more interesting than t-shirts, but we'll just use this as an example. You can get a t-shirt from Gamers Nexus or whatever, and it supports them, and I like the shirt, and I have to wear something. So it's both useful. It's not completely superfluous to my life. It's also, supports them, and it's something I can use. And so that to me seems, again, like a good value proposition for people. So I want to do that. And then maybe if you have more disposable income, and you're like, yeah, I would love a Nightharrow, bobblehead or t-shirt or something, and hopefully I'll be more original than that. But if I can do that stuff, I would like to do that. But I think I need to get to like a critical mass of viewers and supporters before I can really start doing that stuff. And so again, my primary focus right now is just on trying to make really good content, and again, to some extent, let's try to get the channel to pay for itself, which is not a whole lot every month. I don't know how much it is, because it's widely variable, but some number. And I think, hopefully, I've been doing this for a year and a half now, making $0 and working quite a bit. So it's an investment, but the idea is that maybe sometime in the future, I might be in a situation where I'm making a lot of money. And if that situation happens, my plan is to reinvest it and to just grow the channel and to do more things and to get help with different stuff. So I am in it to win it. That's the other thing that people have asked, like, what's my plan? I told my wife when I was first starting out, if I can get 100 subscribers, if I can get 10 subscribers, I can get 100. If I can get 100, I can get 1,000. If I can get 1,000, I can get 10,000. And that's where we're at. And if I can get 10,000, I can get 100,000. There's a lot of complicating factors. It seems like just making good quality content is not enough. And there are people that don't make good quality content that still seem to be very successful. Now, I think some of that is usury and deception and whatever. I don't want to get anywhere near that. But it still shows that there are things besides just making quality content that I need to make sure I'm doing strategically and then I'm doing moving forward. But I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to keep working. I'm going to keep learning. And I'm very excited for the future of the channel to keep doing this. I love what I do. Again, I would like it to, obviously, not to discount, pay for itself, to be able to give myself a paycheck. But I'm in a great position, and I'm fortunate to be here, and I get to play games for a living. So anyways, I guess that's the main thing I wanted to say. I appreciate everybody who's like, hey, how can I support you and everything like that. I want to come up with those ways and stuff like that, especially now, because I'm thinking about it, having the channel support itself would be great. But my main thought process is just like, how do we get more people in? And then once I'm providing great content, and I'm focusing on my content too, because that's what I want to provide, then I think the people will come. And then, somewhere down the line, you can figure out monetization stuff more. So anyways, that's where I'm at. So I just wanted to share this because I was getting some questions, and I just wanted to kind of explain to everybody. So as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. And I know the people watching this too are probably some of my most loyal fans, the people that have known and watched me for a while. And I really appreciate it, guys. I mean, I don't know what else I can say, as far as thank you, but don't think that for a moment that I don't appreciate it. And, one of the tragic things is I know I don't know all of you well. There's some of you I barely know. And I found my videos linked in channels and in Discords that I had no idea that people watch my videos. It's a bummer. But come by a live stream sometime if you want and say hello. I'd love to meet you. That's another thing moving forward with the live streams and stuff like that. I'm figuring this stuff out as I go along, guys. I'm going to try to figure out a schedule and stuff like that so that I can let you know way ahead of time. I just have to, considering that even if I was doing all that stuff, the channel still wouldn't be making money. I need to, work-life balance, kind of stuff. And being a little bit flexible right now is better for my work, life balance, my family life and stuff like that. But moving forward, I would like to get a set schedule, and so that you guys can know when you're going to tune in and stuff like that, if that's something you're interested in. But yeah, anyways, that's it for this video, guys. I appreciate you all. Love you guys. And thanks for watching.